Do, 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 do. Good evening, Cement Shoes. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Hope you had a wonderful day today. Bump, bump, bump. Gemma, you're home from the hospital. Good. I just watched your video earlier that you put up. Gianna Marie, Cheryl, Rayanna. Good evening to all. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope that we all had a safe and excellent weekend. Interpeas, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All the questions tonight are on the Golden State Killer, Joseph DeAngelo, Joseph James DeAngelo. Purple, good evening, Purple. Well, Gamma, maybe you can take a nap and lay down, get some sleep. 2 hours of sleep in 3 days. Wow. Give a couple more minutes here, and we'll get the trivia started. Hubby's the same. Well, pray for improvement, Purple. Pray for improvement. Jet's mom. He was caught in the town next to mine. Joseph DeAngelo. Well, good evening, Jet's mom, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Tammy. Howdy. Your favorite mountaineer girl is here. Hoping all is well. All is well on my end, Tammy, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm glad you could join us today for trivia. Well, good, Gamma. I'm glad you're here with us too. Is Pretty in camo here? I didn't see her. Oh, there you are, sweetheart. Hello. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I'm sorry I missed you there. Must have went by too quick. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you're doing well, getting better. Golden State Killer. Hi, everyone. Yes, the Golden State Killer, Joseph DeAngelo. Another 30 seconds and we'll get this started. Excuse me. All right, let's get the trivia started. The Golden State Killer, Joseph James DeAngelo. As normal, we have 18 multiple choice questions and 5 bonus Did You Know on Joseph James DeAngelo. This is episode 272. Viewer discretion is strongly advised for all the content you hear and see on this channel, YouTube channel 411 Now. None of this content is marketed for anyone under the age of 18, and especially to those under the age of 13 by law. Not all this content, the content that I put out, is for all audiences either. And some of the questions you may find disturbing or visually, I try to keep them, the trivia night and my content visually not disturbing, but still, you've been warned. All right, we are playing only for fun. No one is really any better at this than anyone else. Some people may know things, that others don't, but you probably know something that they don't know. You can use the search engine if you want. It's only cheating if you believe that it's cheating. Hateful or degrading remarks towards another person playing will get you removed. There are 18 questions, including 2 bonus questions. 16 of the questions are used with permission of King Trivia. This is the last night of trivia that I will be using kingtrivia.com. After this, all of the questions from here on out, for probably eternity, will be questions that I will come up with that I have determined, are worth asking, as opposed to ones that are from King Trivia. Right now, I picked the bonus questions and the did you knows, but after tonight, all of the questions will be from me. These questions are not exploitive of the victims or the families. They are for educational purposes only. On your screen, you now see question number 1. Kitty Q, good evening. Welcome. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Question 1 is now on the screen. Before Joseph DeAngelo was known as the Golden State Killer, what other nickname had the media given him? Was it A, the Ridgewood Killer, B, the Golden Strangler, C, the East Bay Rapist, or the East Area Rapist? Is D, the Mormon Stalker? And I'm going to get myself in my little window here. I like this one better. Good evening, Lieutenant RN. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Before Joseph DeAngelo was known as the Golden State Killer, what other nickname had the media given him? And we got some C's. Cement Shoes, KQ, Left-Hand RN are all going with C. Jet's Mom's going with C. Ray Anna is going with B. Pretty in Camo, E. The Dirty Old Man. Oh, yeah, he did, Kitty Q. He had a lot, but which one of these came before it? Before him being known as the Golden State Killer. Only one of them is real. He totally looks like the East Bay Rapist kind of guy. LOL, says Tammy. Cheryl's going with B. Tammy, the getaway Yugo driver. High on meth. With a mountain lion riding in the back seat. All right. Question number 1. The correct answer is C as in cat. Miss K, just in time. And welcome, Miss K, to tonight's trivia. We are on question number 1. And I know that I forgot to number each one at the top in the left-hand corner. So I'm going to try my best to make sure, when I say what number we're on, it's correct. But this is the first question. But the East Bay Rapist or the East Area Rapist, both of the names were used by the media simultaneously. Some called them the East Bay Rapist, some called them the East Area Rapist. The Ridgeway, there was no Ridgewood killer. There was a Ridgewood rapist, and the other two were just completely made up. But yes, Kitty Q did allude to that he did have a lot of different nicknames. There are, I think, 11 different nicknames. And as the scroll going by here, you'll see that they didn't know that these different sprees were actually caused by the same person. They thought they were different individuals. It turns out it's all Joseph DeAngelo. All right, question number 2. During one span prior to his killing sprees, Joseph committed a series of rapes in the Sacramento, California area. Approximately how many did he do in 14-month period? Was it A, 15, B, 19, C, 28, or D, 144,000? Cement Shoes says he looks like an unwrapped mummy. Oh my God, my phone cord brushed against my arm, and I bet myself nearly to death thinking it was a big bug. Sorry about that. Kitty Q is going with A, question mark. Jet's mom is going with B, right? Anna, C. Sal, good evening, Sal. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Sal. We are on question number 2. Purple B, Deanna Marie B, Cement Shoes C. During one span prior to his killing sprees, Joseph committed a series of rapes in the Sacramento, California area. Approximately how many did he do in a 14-month period? Sal's going with H. He looks like an overachiever, C. Cheryl's going with B. The answer to question number 2 is C as in cat, 28. And they were done in 2 different sprees, 28 of them in a 14-month period. He did a capital amount. 28. All right, question number 3. Prior to killing or raping any woman, Joseph always did what first? Was it A, pleasure himself, B, made a cup of tea, C, took photos of the victim, or D, woke them up with whispers? What did Joseph DeAngelo always do before he raped or killed any woman? Gayla, good evening. Welcome. We are currently on question number 3. And I am truly sorry I forgot to number them. So there is no number in the upper left-hand corner. Inner Peas is saying E, binge watching the Jersey Shore. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you could be here with us, Gayla. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Karen Cadle, good evening, Karen. Karen is going with C. Glad you could be here with us tonight for trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. He brushed his mountain lion in the back of his Yugo. Prior to killing or raping any woman, Joseph always did what first? Just entered to tap the like button, going to sleep past 2 a.m. here. Good night, Goldie, and you have a terrific week ahead. Sweet dreams, Goldie. Good mountain lion. All right, the answer to question number 3 is D as in dog. He woke them up with a whisper. He would whisper in their ear, and then he would blind them with a flashlight. So he whispered in their ear to wake them up and then blinded them with a flashlight. Not by like hitting them with it, but shining a very powerful flashlight directly in their eyes. He used to play mind games with his victims. And this is not, I'm not tipping off any other question, but this is a side note though. But Joseph, he would rape these women, particularly in the beginning, before he started killing them. He would rape them, and then he would stand in the corner or away from the bed after they've been blinded with the lights the entire time, and he would stand there and watch to see if they moved. He told them, "Do not move, stay there, don't move," and he did this to instill fear in them. So they would think that they thought they heard footsteps walking away, and he'd pop back out of the shadows again, and tell them, I told you, if you move, I'm going to kill you. Well, later on, he just started straight up killing them on top of it. But he would play these games with them, so they would lay there, after this traumatic event, that they just lived through, and afraid until the morning light sometimes. And he did it to make sure that they didn't call the police, so they didn't know where he was. But sick. All right, did you know weekly Joseph attended church? He helped coach a softball team. He also raised 3 daughters, and he volunteered at a food pantry the church ran with a local nonprofit. In his spare time, during the time when he was a law enforcement officer, he would actually volunteer to track down criminals and people who had warrants on his time off. He wouldn't do it on the clock unless he was with somebody else, but he decided he wanted to be, Mr. Hero after hours, which the police department really didn't, like at all. You're supposed to be home. You're off the clock. You just go home and shut up and leave your job alone. No, Joseph would help track down wanted felons, and those with warrants in his time off. And it really did rub his boss the wrong way. But question number 4. After Joseph DeAngelo was captured, he told detectives only one thing really scared him about committing his crimes. What was it? Was it A, sexually transmitted diseases, B, spiders, C, getting caught, or D, someone like him was free? He was a hybrid cross between Bundy and BTK. Yeah. A lot of the, I would say more towards BTK. Welcome. Juicy Jules is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had an excellent weekend. And Lemon Pie as well is here with us. Welcome, Lemon Pie. Welcome to tonight's trivia. They often seem normal. Yeah. There's a period of years though in Joseph DeAngelo's past, especially in the 80s, no one knows what he really did. They don't know what he did for work. They don't know where he was. They don't know anything about him. He was just gone. Airplane shadows. Scared him. After Joseph DeAngelo was captured, he told detectives the only thing really that scared him about committing his crimes was what? Question number 4. The correct answer is D as in dog. That someone like him was free and out there committing these crimes. He was not afraid of spiders or sexually transmitted diseases. He was pissed off that they lied to him, and he got caught, but he wasn't afraid of getting caught. He was pissed off that the police department actually lied to him. He didn't think that they would do that to him. Sorry. All right. Question number 5. Against the advice of his attorneys, Joseph wanted to fake mental illness. Who was convinced he was mentally ill? Was it A, the judge, B, the court reporter, C, 2 of the bailiffs, or D, the entire jury? Against the advice of his attorney, Joseph wanted to fake mental illness. Who was convinced he was actually mentally ill? Spiders and STDs. Lemon Pie is going with D. Jet's Mom, B. Threat Shoes, A. A Beautiful Mess. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. A Beautiful Mess. I'm glad you could be here with us. Kitty Q, C. A. Kitty Q, A. Rihanna, A. Tammy, A. Sal, going with D. And Lemon Pie, E. The voices in his head. Gianna Marie is going with B. D. Karen, Steph. Good evening, Steph. If I didn't say hello earlier, welcome to tonight's trivia. Steph is going with B, and Karen is going with B as well for question number 5. Against the advice of his attorneys, Joseph wanted to fake mental illness. Who was convinced he was mentally ill? Gianna Marie with D. Beautiful Mess, Dr. Phil. The entire staff at the jail who witnessed him fake mobility issues. You're on the right track there, Gayla. The correct answer to this question is C as in cat. The 2 bailiffs who brought him from the jail to the courtroom each time. They were convinced that he was actually mentally ill because he was pretty good at it, acting as if he was mentally ill and unable to aid in his own defense. His attorney pointed out to him, if we actually file for insanity plea on this, they're going to send you away and test you, and they're going to find out if you're mentally competent. I highly suggest you don't do this, but he did it anyways. He acted like he wasn't there. He didn't know what was going on. And that he was an old, frail man. Yeah, he was definitely old when they caught him, but he wasn't a frail man who didn't have his capacities to understand what was going on. But he convinced the 2 bailiffs who were in charge of taking him from the jail to the court every day that he was actually mentally ill. And both of them, after the case was over with, spoke when they were, they polled the people in the courtroom on guilt or innocence. And both of the bailiffs were like, he's not mentally ill. They were both convinced of it. All right. Going on to the next one. Question number 6. What branch of the U.S. military did Joseph DeAngelo serve in? Was it A, Space Force, B, the Coast Guard, C, Men in Black or MIB, or D, the U.S. Navy? What branch of the United States military did Joseph DeAngelo serve in? The former partner was at his house when he was arrested. Ooh. D, in the Navy. Sing it with us. In the Navy. Next thing you know, we're going to be singing YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Yeah, D. He served with the village people, says Interpeas. Now I have that song stuck in my head. Sorry. I can hear the village people singing in the Navy now. Smoke them if you got them. Cheryl is going with D. They're a very large clue right there. What branch of the U.S. military did Joseph DeAngelo serve in? The correct answer is D, as in dog. This is actually his graduation picture from Navy boot camp. Joseph DeAngelo served in the United States Navy, but he wasn't a macho man. No, he wasn't. All right. Did you know Joseph DeAngelo never finished high school, but did get his GED? In 1964, early part of 1965, he was scouted by the New York Mets to play baseball for their AA affiliate in California at the time. He was at the time playing for a junior varsity baseball team. Now, this is a photo of him, and he is the second officer to the left that is facing directly towards the camera. But the other two are just other junior like varsity team after he actually left and was in a law enforcement. Obviously, he's a police officer in this photo. But did you know he was actually scouted to play baseball for the New York Mets AA affiliate? Believe it or not, Joseph DeAngelo had a soft spot in his heart for a select group of women that he deemed untouchable. Who were they? Was it A, women he knew from church? B, women who displayed a cross? C, women who were older than 50? Or D, women who were Hispanic? Believe it or not, Joseph DeAngelo had a soft spot in his heart for a select group of women that he deemed untouchable. Who were they? As big as his ego was, I'm surprised his tool of death wasn't a bat. Some men's shoes. Avon, ladies. Avon calling. I remember the sergeant in briefing talking about him back in the early 80s. Oh, women with junk in the trunk, says lemon pie. Oh. Catholic school lunch ladies. Was it Chris Farley played the lunch lady on SNL? Believe it or not, Joseph DeAngelo had a soft spot in his heart for a select group of women that he deemed untouchable. Who were they? Louise. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia, Louise. Hello from Michigan. Hello from Washington State, where I am located. All right, the correct answer for this question, ladies and gentlemen, is, as Louise just jumped in with the answer, A as in apple is the correct answer. He wouldn't go after women initially. There were a couple who were former members of his church that he went after, but women from his church were deemed untouchable to him. Untouchable, meaning he wouldn't do anything to them, even if he was aroused by them. He wouldn't touch them. A Beautiful Mess is from South Dakota. I just found a channel on YouTube about they're two brothers who run like a junkyard, or they scrap things for a living in South Dakota. Very interesting. I'm not entirely sure what to make of their channel, but they're from South Dakota. The Carroll brothers or something like that. Well, anyways, I've been to South Dakota quite a bit in my lifetime, and same with North Dakota. All right. So next one. As twisted as this question is, it's actually factual. How many victims of rape by Joseph were attacked more than once by him? How many were actually attacked by him more than once? Is it A, 6 of them, B, 1, C, 8, or D, 3? It was creepy. He was born in the same year as my dad. My dad is still in great shape. Well, that's good to know that your dad's still doing well, Jet's mom. I hope he has plenty of happy years ahead of him still. I don't know if I'll ever make it to that age. My body's falling apart faster than I can repair it. We got A, Gala B, we have D, Lemon Pie D, Beautiful Mess D, Kitty Q D. Sal's going with B. Tammy is going for D, the trifecta. Jet's mom, D. Hold on. I gotta find my wife is calling me. I gotta find out what she needs. Yes? Hello. How are you doing, little man? Goodbye. Apparently, it wasn't my wife, it was my son. My son wanted to say hello. Love him. All right. As twisted as this question is, it's actually factual. How many victims were raped by Joseph DeAngelo were attacked more than once? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is D as in dog. 3 women. He not only raped them and mentally tortured them by them thinking that he was still there in the home or in the room and he was going to do it again or kill them. He actually came back and raped the same women, 3 women again. Good evening, Eddie Haskell. Welcome to tonight's trivia. And Jude, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. It is now our break time, ladies and gentlemen. We take a 6-minute break after we are 50% of the way through the trivia night. Take the next 6 minutes, do whatever you need to do, get something to eat, use the facilities, whatever you need. It's all good. Just make sure you watch out for mountain lions because those suckers are sneaky. Happy wife, happy life. That's what the saying how the saying goes. I mean, I agree with it. It turns out that my son calling me on my wife's phone. He likes to play with her phone. I have a killer squirrel, like a pet squirrel. I'm telling you, if my wife could, she would have one. She wants a possum. She thinks they're just the cutest things. I'm like, those are not things that you keep as a pet. Or a skunk. You can demusk a skunk and have a skunk as a pet. I have a 20 pound box of peanuts in my front by my front door. My wife, when we go for walks, she throws them along the nature trail for the squirrels. You know, it terrorizes me in the morning. Oh, we have a walking path that's near the river, and my wife bought like this big ass box of peanuts. They're not they're expired, so they're not for human consumption. But she puts a bunch of them in a plastic bag, and then when we go for walks, she scatters them along the river for the squirrels. She loves all animals, and every one of them that she sees that she wants them all. My son shares my YouTube, and he will comment when I'm live or not, or I will randomly get a thumbs up on WWE or Fortnite channel. Really, Fortnite. My son has a YouTube channel, but all of it, the channel and all the content are private. Because and it's not that, obviously he's too young to know what he's doing, and to put himself out there on the internet. But a lot of the content that he makes, the videos he makes, have copyright music in them or videos of, he'll take like clips of like cartoons and stuff and then put words on the screen, dub over it, with other music in the background, like Peppa Pig videos. You'll make a Peppa Pig video with like Rammstein playing in the background, so it's music, to Rammstein Peppa Pig. My dog came through the yard one day last week with two squirrels in his mouth. Uh-oh. Came by my house yesterday from my Mastiff barking at 12:30 p.m. Well, the Mastiff was barking for some reason, Tammy. Big damn dogs. My sister has a Mastiff. She also has a Saint Bernard. So keep Jet on my channel so I can keep an eye on that, what he looks at. Right, Anna, it's 12:30 in the afternoon, Tammy. She was barking at the Nazi squirrels that pick on her. There you go. Well, she'll get them. All right, we got 40 seconds left. 40 seconds. Rescues. Giant breed rescues. My sister purposely bought her both her Mastiff and her Saint Bernard from breeders. My sister's had a lot of dogs over the years, and they're all massive dogs too, as you know from having a Mastiff yourself. The first one we had when we were teenagers, we had a what the hell? I have to think about what kind of breed of the dog it is. But we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to question number 9 in a second here. But first, I want to say thank you to Amazing Lover 96, Gemma's Journey Grace, Susan Motley, and Anonymous for the donations that I got from the last. Those are the last ones that I got. That made it possible for me to be able to have the pictures you're seeing tonight on this trivia night. That paid for the Getty images. Thank you very much to each of them. Question number 9. Fired from his position in law enforcement for shoplifting. What job did Joseph apply and interview for next, yet not get? He did not get the job. Was it A, cast member of the Jersey Shore, B, a state game warden, C, a Chippendales dancer, or D, a school teacher? Fired from his position in law enforcement for shoplifting. What job did Joseph apply for and interview for next? You have a great big, what was that? Another dog. Dog only barks when there is a stranger in the driveway or an unknown person near the kids. There you go. Rosie. Oh, but the dog that me and my sister had when we were teenagers we had a Rhodesian Ridgeback that was half rot. It was rotten Rhodesian Ridgeback. It was not as big as a Mastiff, but it's a pretty big sized dog. It was definitely bigger than a normal Rhodesian Ridgeback. The extra village people dancer. We are looking for a Barbara breeder to have trained as my service dog. Ooh. Men's room attendance is lemon pie. Right, Anna's going with B. Gianna Marie, B as well. Sal, a beautiful mess. Gayla are going with B. Steph, D. Summit Shoes, D. Kitaku, B. Question mark and Cato. Karen Cato is going with B as well. Restroom attendant. That's good lemon pie. I like that one. Mine's 130 pounds, not fat. LOL. I miss my dogs, so don't have any dogs. All we have now is cats. I said no more pets, so we ended up getting 8 cats. Well, a pregnant cat, Siamese cat, showed up at our house. We don't know. We went around all of the neighborhood here in houses. Nobody had ever seen the cat before, so we think it was probably dumped. So, but we ended up with 8 cats. I said no more pets, so we have 8 cats. Fired from his position in law enforcement for shoplifting. What did Joseph DeAngelo apply for and interview next? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer to question number 9 is B as in boy, a state game warden. He applied for the job and was interviewed for it. Then they did the background check on him, and they found out he was fired from his last employer for shoplifting. So they kind of passed on him. But as soon as he was fired from his job as in law enforcement, he applied immediately for a job as a game warden. Pooper scooper. All right. Question number 10. In the early years before killing his victims or raping them, he often broke into homes and stole really stupid things. Which one was he actually caught with? Was it A, plastic dinner plates, B, 17 rolls of pennies, C, women's dirty underwear, or D, blue chip stamp books? I love big dogs. We have widow Yorkie Poo, now named Jay, but he goes by Boop. Oh, that's cute. He was after them darn mountain lions. In the early years before his before killing his victims or raping them, he often broke into homes and stole really stupid things. Which one was he actually caught with? Richard Nixon blow-up doll. That's funny, lemon pie. Louise is going with A, just mom A, Steph D, beautiful mess D. Tammy douche nozzles. Kitty Q and Cement are going with D. Eddie Haskell C. Lemon pie going with A. A deceased lemon. Yeah. Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, for question 10, the correct answer is A as in apple, plastic dinner plates. All of the following items on this list that you see here, A, B, C, and D, he stole all of them from break-ins into other people's homes, but he wasn't caught with them after stealing them. But he stole 17 rolls of pennies from one victim. Another one, he stole dirty women's underwear. Another one, he stole blue chip stamp books. And somebody in the comments section, tell me what the hell blue chip stamp books are. I thought they were like war bond, like chips, like ration chip, like stamps. But according to the internet, when I did a Google search of it, I got 3 different, completely different answers. But what are blue chip stamp books? I still don't know exactly what they are. Maybe one of your can answer it, and it'll match one of the 3 that I have written down here. Does anybody know? Blue chip stamp books. Are they like green stamps? See, Rayanna, that's what I thought they were. It was something like green stamps. They're kind of like a coupon for a certain store. Okay, Kitty Coo. Well, that's one of the options I have here. Is they're a stamp book for actual groceries or goods at a store. Another one that I have is that they were a savings book for gasoline. Apparently, there was a couple of different companies that handed out things that they called blue chips, and they were like for $1 off of gasoline. Retailers would give you blue chip stamps, which you put in a book and could buy things with them. Okay, so I guess that matches the other thing. Could these retailers be like gas stations as well? Because that's one of the other options that that I wrote down here. But anyways, I guess it doesn't really matter. But I was just curious. I've never heard of blue chip stamp books, nor ever heard of coupons for $1 off of gasoline. But apparently that's a thing. They used to be, at least. All right. Next question. How he became a law enforcement officer is beyond me. He actually committed a series of crimes at the age of 14. What were they? Was it A, illegal gambling, B, auto theft, C, loan sharking, or D, theft of cattle? How Joseph DeAngelo actually became a law enforcement officer is beyond me. He actually committed a series of crimes at the age of 14. What were they? Eddie Haskell's going with B. So every time I see the name Eddie Haskell, I always think that weren't you a little hard on the beeve last night? I know that's Ward Cleaver, but it just pops in my head every time I see the name Eddie Haskell. Inner Peace is going with E, loitering. Steph and Sal are both going with B. Beautiful mess. B question mark? I don't know. It could be B. Could be B. They didn't give polygraphs or voice stress exams on backgrounds back when he was applying for law enforcement. Oh, but you think they would check, for criminal background? But maybe they were just desperate for anyone with a pulse to fill the position. Be an unlicensed junior gynecologist. Oh, Tammy. How he became a law enforcement officer is beyond me. He actually committed a series of crimes at the age of 14. What were they? Louise, Gianna Marie, and Cheryl are all going with B, like today. Says Steph. Cheryl, everybody else is in. Okay, the correct answer to this question is B as in boy. Auto theft. He stole a series of cars. There were 5 cars in total. He did all of the auto theft with a friend of the family and a friend of his who was 17 years old at the time. He took young DeAngelo, Joseph DeAngelo, along with him as his lookout. And then Joseph would jump into the car once the other person got the car started. But he stole 5 cars. He worked as a patrol officer for Lincoln PD, very tiny department at the time. That auto theft is what he did at the age of 14. I could not find if he ever served time in jail for it, but I know they caught him. They may have just turned him back over to his parents, which would not have been good because from what I understand, his father was a very hard, strict individual. All right, next. Did you know even if Joseph DeAngelo wasn't fired from his job in law enforcement, his days were likely numbered? He spent most of his days daydreaming instead of enforcing the laws. He almost never wrote any traffic tickets and never investigated real crimes unless it was on his own time. Whenever I hear Angelo, I think of Bruno. Yeah. Right? I'm from DC. Kids start at 8. I think he went to a boys' home. It could be wrong. I don't know if he went to a boys' home. He may have though. All right. Next question. How many known murder victims are there of Joseph DeAngelo between the years 1973 and 1986? Is it A, 10, B, 15, C, 18, or D, 38? How many murder victims are there of Joseph DeAngelo between the years 1973 and 1986? Being a juvenile, some departments don't check back to a applicant's childhood history. Oh, I didn't know that. How many known murder victims are there of Joseph DeAngelo between the years 1973 and 1986? Oh, sorry. Damn, my stepmom is from West Virginia. Beautiful. My wife and my daughter, my wife, my daughter, my son, and my nephew and my mother-in-law, all five of them just went to West Virginia about was it a month ago now? They went for the Mothman Festival in West Virginia. And they had an awesome time there. They really enjoyed it. The Mothman in West Virginia. Grew up in Harper's Ferry. I'm not sure where they went in West Virginia, but they had a lot of fun. That's all that mattered. All right. The answer to this question, ladies and gentlemen, is B as in boy. 15 murders between 1973 and 1986. These are known victims. Not how many they believe he killed, but known. 15. Guy was caught because a relative took a genealogy test. All right, question 13. The thrills were all gone. Joseph had to escalate his crimes to get any satisfaction out of the crimes. What did he do to escalate his pleasure? Was it A, he brought a mountain lion with him? B, he blitz attacked victims? C, he started doing meth before attacking? Or D, he started targeting couples? He went tubing in Harper's Ferry every year. Well, love the Mothman. So I'm guessing Harper's Ferry is down where they do the festival. Oh boy, that's a lot of D's. D D D D D D D D D D D. The thrills were all gone. Joseph had to escalate his crimes to get any satisfaction out of the crimes. What did he do to escalate his pleasure? He sold condoms to Chad Daybell. Autoerotic asphyxiation. Who was it? There was someone famous who actually died of that, like an actor or a musician or something like that. I for some reason it escapes the name escapes me. Died of autoerotic asphyxiation. But I was reading about something completely different, and it just came across, in the article that I was reading. I was like, what? Harpers Ferry in eastern West Virginia are borders with Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. Ah, okay. Miss K is going with D. Rihanna is going with B. The Karate Kid can't think of his name. Ralph Macchio? The one that I'm thinking of, Kitty Koo, actually died from it. I think Ralph Macchio is still alive. At least I thought it was. David Carradine, the Kung Fu guy. Was that it? Might have been David Carradine, the guy from Kung Fu. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still here, but I think you might be right. It might be David Carradine from Kung Fu. The Kill Bill guy. All right. So the answer to this question is D as in dog. He started targeting couples. Joseph DeAngelo, in case you're not aware of this, let me give you a little bit of his motive of operation, of how he would do things. He would find a victim that he wanted to, rape, murder, do both or one or the other. Okay. He would then surveil that home and that person for the longest time. He would watch the home to know when people came and went, when they got deliveries, if anyone else lived with them. And then he would stand outside of the home, and looking in a window, a peeping Tom, if you will, where he could, in a place where he could actually have cover, where nobody would see him, like behind a bush or whatever. And he would watch them for hours on end, and hours. But he did this so much. But towards the end, when he started targeting couples, he purposely made sure that they both were there, and he would kill both of them eventually. At least that was the goal. But he would make one tie up the other, and then he would he would sexually assault the woman, and then he'd kill them both. But he started targeting couples, and his planning went out the window. The watching, the surveillance of the home, and everything that went on with it, he just stopped altogether because he wasn't getting the thrills from it anymore. Stacked dishes on hubby's back. Yeah, the one, I know he did that. Didn't Michael Hutchinson also die that way? I'm not sure. Might have been. We'll have to look it up. I'm sure we can Google it. All right, next. While living in Germany as a young man, Joseph witnessed a violent attack take place. What directly affected him, and what was it? Was it A, the murder of a homeless man? B, rape of a female shopkeeper? C, the murder of a school teacher? Or D, the rape of his older sister? While living in Germany as a young man, Joseph witnessed a violent attack take place. What directly affected him? What was it? Now, there's a couple of musicians that died by hanging themselves. That I can think of off the top of my head. Died of autoerotic asphyxiation. Rabbit hole to jump down. Google, right, Jets Mom? Well, I'd hate to, for law enforcement to ever look at the hard drive of this computer. Boy, the search history on this one. Woohoo! They probably think that I'm a serial killer myself. While living in Germany as a young man, Joseph witnessed a violent attack take place. What directly affected him, and what was it? The correct answer to this question 14 is D as in dog. He watched his older sister be raped by two servicemen in a warehouse while he was living in Germany on the Air Force base. And he said that it directly affected everything in his life from there going forward. Not that it didn't affect his sister, but it affected him that he saw this happen. All right. Did you know Joseph DeAngelo was 72 years old when law enforcement finally caught up to him and charged him with 8 counts of murder in the first degree? When the DA got the case files, it actually took a moving truck to move the 62 boxes of files and 21 boxes of actual physical evidence that had been collected. Don't forget, originally the series of rapes that happened in and around the Sacramento area in California, they originally thought that those were committed by different rapists and different home intruders. So there was the rape cases and all the evidence from that. Then there was the burglary cases. Then there was the theft cases. Then there was the murder cases on top of it all. It filled up 62 file boxes and 21 boxes of evidence. It took a moving truck once they finally got to the point to file the case against him. That's an extraordinary amount of actual evidence that had been collected for all those years. And then they had to put them all together and say, oh, crap, this guy's guilty of all this stuff. I think that's right up there with Charles Ding. Yeah. All right. Question number 15. The U.S. Navy was actually a good fit for Joseph. Later, after he was convicted of murder, what was the one thing he said he learned in the Navy that always helped him? Was it A, how to tie knots, B, how to make a bed correctly, C, how to swim, or D, how to cover his tracks? The U.S. Navy was actually a good fit for Joseph. Later, after he was convicted of murder, what was the one thing he said he learned in the U.S. Navy that always helped him? Question number 15. Miss K is going with diamond ones. Inner Beast, dance moves. Jet's mom's going with D, how to cover his tracks. How to groom a mountain lion high on meth in the back of a Yugo. That's good, Tammy. What was the one thing he learned in the Navy that always helped him? Question number 15. Oh, how to groom a mountain lion high on meth in the back of a Yugo. God. Oh, you guys are so inventive. All right, question number 15. The correct answer is A as in apple. How to tie knots. Miss K, you were really close to the actual answer there. You know, obviously it's A, but he was actually one of his nicknames that the media gave him was the Diamond Knot Killer or the Diamond Knot Rapist. Those were both nicknames that the media had given him: Diamond Knot Killer and Diamond Knot Rapist. So you were really close with the diamond ones. All right. Question 16. Let's face it, when a murderer like Joseph comes along, the media loves it. It sells papers and ad space on TV. What nickname did he give himself that he prefers to be to this day over the Golden State Killer? Amelia. Good evening, Amelia. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Is it A, the Creek Bed Killer, B, the Diamond Knot Killer, C, the Night Stalker, or D, the East Bay Murderer? I got it. I got an A above that. Chad Daybell fluffer. Oh my God. Some man. Y'all know what a fluffer is? There's something for you to put into Google. Liberace piano tuner, another good one. Oh, Gail's going with D, but maybe C. Question number 16. I've got the Navy dance moves killer. Kolchak the Night Stalker. Kolchak the Night Stalker. The rapist with a little pee-pee. Let's face it, when a murderer like Joseph DeAngelo comes along, the media loves it. It sells papers and ad space on TV. What nickname did he give himself that he prefers to this day over Golden State Killer? The correct answer is B as in boy. The Diamond Knot Killer. He always preferred to be referred as the Diamond Knot Killer. He did not like, it still, I guess, doesn't like the Golden State Killer nickname. Did you know? Loves to read, Joseph DeAngelo loves to read true crime novels. When he can't get them, he sits around and listens to other murderers talk about their crimes. He is a true crime buff. Now, he doesn't have access to the internet, so he's not here in the chat. I don't think he can even access YouTube at all. But he does have access to a tablet, for CCTV, like from one person to another communications. But you can't come on YouTube, and start chatting away and with us. But did you know he loves true crime novels? All right, question number 17. Bonus question number 1. 3 decades after some of the crimes, Joseph DeAngelo couldn't let them go, nor could he allow the victim to. What did he do? Was it A, he wrote them letters? B, he sent them back stolen items? C, he called them on the phone? Or D, he drove by their homes slowly? He looks like the Harlequin romance novel devotee, personally. I don't know. It would be funny if he was in the chat and heard me call him Daybell Fluffer. I was joking about anybody wanting to Google what a fluffer is. Don't do it. If you don't know what it is, just assume that you don't need to know. Bonus question number 1. Question 17. 3 decades after some of the crimes, Joseph DeAngelo couldn't let them go, nor could he allow the victim to. What did he do? Quite a few C's and some D's there. Miss K is going with A. Marshmallow and the peanut butter. Just assume it's a porn prop. Oh yeah, it's someone in the porn business. A fluffer. You don't want to know. And they're at the real position. All right. The answer to question number 17 is C as in cat. He called them on the phone. 3 decades after some of the crimes, he would still call the victim just to torture them. Sometimes he wouldn't say anything at all and just hang up the phone or just sit there silently, torturing them that somebody was calling them over and over again and then hanging up. Other times he would give them, it'd say a threat to them. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your entire family. Whatever it took. Each victim was different. But 3 decades after he had committed a crime against these people, he was still torturing them. Question 18, bonus question number 2. Once engaged to be married to Jean Colwell, he broke off the relationship. She broke off the relationship. Joseph wasn't having it. So on a hot June night, he went to convince her to marry him right then and there, holding what? What was he holding? Was it A, flowers, B, a 38 special handgun, C, a knife and 1 rose, D, a rope and black gloves? Once engaged to be married to Jean Colwell, she broke off the relationship. Joseph wasn't having it, so on a hot June night, he went to convince her to marry him right then and there, holding what? Yeah, C, Eddie Haskell's going with B, Tammy C, Kitty Q B, Miss K C, Ray Anna D, Sal A, Gayla B. Chapstick and KY jelly. What? E, his tiny wee wee. Lemon pie. Prenup, says Inner Peas. Better go catch it. Gianna Marie B. Jet's mom is going with C. Maybe this will be a clue for you, and I'll let you change your answer if you want. Jean Colwell broke off the relationship, the engagement with, Joseph DeAngelo, because he was controlling. He wanted to control every aspect of her life, who she had as friends, where she worked, when she left for work, what she ate, what she dressed, what she wore, what kind of clothing, what she listened to or watched on television or listened to on the radio. He wanted to control every aspect of her life. And she said, no, I'm not having this. That's it. But, you have to look at it in hindsight. This way that he treated Jean Colwell was the same way his father treated his mother, and which ended up in divorce. But he was doing the same exact thing, the same way that he learned from his father. Tickets to Disneyland on ice. Rihanna is going with C. The answer to bonus question number 2, number 8, question 18. Ladies and gentlemen, the night he went there on this hot June night to convince her to marry him right then and there, he was holding a 38 special in his hand, and he pointed it directly at her head and said, "You're going to marry me, and you're going to do it right now." He went to convince her to marry him with a gun in his hand. B as in boy is the correct answer to question number 18. But whatever his dad said to him never bothered her again. Yeah. So how did you do on tonight's trivia? This is completely optional. You do not have to give yourself a letter grade, right? Jet's mom, how romantic, right? I mean, what woman would not love that? Well, gee, I guess now that you have a gun in your hand, I mean, it makes all the difference. I don't know, Sal, but that's his version of the story and hers. She confirmed it. I believe she later changed her name before she really did get married, but they were able to track her down. But A, you're damn near an expert now. B, you should have done better. C, was tricked by a mountain lion. D, forgot to study creepy dudes. Or E, you can't judge me. I'm a mountain lion expert. Each of the bonus questions, questions 17 and 18, are worth 2 points tonight. Both of them are kind of variations of other questions that are out there that were listed as hard or extremely hard. So if you got 17 or 18 right, those are worth 2 points apiece. All right, this is the list of the suggestions. That not a complete list. I know there are quite a few others that are not on this list of ones. These are topics that we will be doing for the rest between now and the end of June. Obviously, I'm not June, December. Got the month of June from the last question on my mind. But these are the ones that have been suggested, along with other ones that I have written down here. But if you have a suggestion, I would love to hear it. If not, it's all right. Trying to get rid of it. There. And back to the chat. Mountain lion groomer proctologist. Kitty Coo. I got 10 right. There you go. I think I'm B. B gets degrees. It's completely optional to give yourself a letter grade on it. They're all creepy. They are. They are all creepy. Oops. Almost knocked over everything there. Done. I write done on each and every one of them. Don't know why I do it, but I do it anyways. That's the answer key. Inner P's got mountain lion tonight. Rihanna E. Mountain lion expert. For the older cases, thanks, Will. Give us the serial killer if you have your book handy. Let's see. Today is December 3rd. December 3rd. This is the book, Serial Killer Calendar, This Day in Killer History. Today, December 3rd, is Wayne Adams Ford, born December 3rd, 1961. As an American serial killer, Ford turned himself in. He walked into the Humboldt, that's how you pronounce it, County Sheriff's Department in Eureka, California in November of 1998 with a woman's severed breast in his pocket. He confessed to having killed 4 women in 1998, and his thought to have killed others. He was found guilty of 4 counts of first-degree murder on June 27, 2006, and was sentenced to death in August of 2006. Currently, he resides on death row in San Quentin State Penitentiary in California. Yay. He sounds like a great guy. Kind of person you want to bring home to mom. There's several. Then there's Joseph Antonio Rodriguez Vega, December 1957 through 2002, another killer. Then there's Gerald John Schaefer Jr. I know who he is. He's a sick, twisted SOB. He's gone now. He died in 1995, though. Scott Williams is a convicted American serial killer who lived in Monroe, North Carolina. He'd been convicted for the murders of 3 women that took place over a period of 9 years. But this is what it looks like. And that's the picture for the day. But December 3rd down here, we're towards the bottom. Great book. Kitty Coo told me about this book, and I had to get it on. You can get it on Amazon. I don't remember how much it was. It was fairly priced, reasonable price though. It was not an expensive book. Stephen McDaniels, why Steven Y? Guy from True Crime Loser. I do not have him on the list. Cement shoes. At least I'm pretty sure I don't have him on the list. I mean, I'd have to get the book out and look it up. McDaniels. Why Steven Y? What was the last one's name for December 3rd? Scott Wilson Williams, born December 3rd, 1963, is convicted American serial killer that lived in Monroe, North Carolina. He had been convicted for the murders of 3 women that took place over the span of 9 years. He has also been convicted of crimes against 2 additional women who were not killed. But Scott Wilson Williams, he's a sick, twisted SOB. But I mean, that none of these people are like, gonna make, get humanitarian awards. Love it, but I think it's creepy to say. Yeah. Shoot, can't remember her name. In Texas, she became a really good person, so much that the executioner quit. Really? Took a little nap and just woke up. So sorry, I've missed the trivia. Oh, it's all right. Sprinkled Donuts. You can always watch these and rewind. You can binge watch them. Just go to to my YouTube channel, and then scroll down on my page, and trivia night's right there. You can click on one and then binge watch all of them. There are a lot of them. I mean, tonight's the 273rd trivia night. I have to look for things about him. There you go. But I hope you had a good nap, Sprinkled Donuts. Sprinkled Donut, singular, not plural. Carla Faye Tucker, I think. Carla Faye Tucker. Name sounds familiar. Yeah, if you think that you are a subscriber to my channel, I would strongly suggest you check again, because YouTube has a tendency to unsubscribe people, particularly if you don't actually go to your left-hand side and click on subscriptions, and people you subscribe to. If you're not looking at the channel that way and you're just looking at what's suggested next up at the top of your mobile device or your desktop or whatever, they unsubscribe people all the time. I hear it all the time. People are like, hey, I was subscribed to you. Now for some reason, I'm not subscribed. So it's a real thing that YouTube does. Why they do it? It's mainly because they're trying to, no one's watching. This person's not, clicking on this. They're not watching it. It's in YouTube's best interest to push out content to you, the viewer, that you're going to watch. If they don't have any way to track your actual, watch history, from your subscriptions, and they do, everything in this world tracks you. It's not just YouTube, it's everywhere. Mobile device sitting on your table right now or in your pocket is listening to you. Don't want to go big brother on you and get on that slippery slope, but they're all out there, and that's how they make a living. Is they suggested ads. Found Jesus and convinced half of Texas to petition for her stay of execution. Oh, that's why Carly Faye Tucker sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar. I'm just not remembering the case or what she did. The story was used in my death and dying class in college. She was executed in Texas for a pickaxe slaying in the 80s. Ooh. Sounds like a lovely individual. Well, if you're taking off, don't forget to give this a thumbs up, if you will, or a thumbs down, whichever. They've unsubscribed me 3 times, and I watch every week. Yeah, it happens. I've seen it happen to myself. Cement shoes. It's like I've been following in the true crime genre. I subscribed and I've been a subscriber to Mel. Whatever, Mel, whatever now, whatever she's going by, but to her channel, and it's unsubscribed me from her channel. It's unsubscribed me from other channels that I watch every week and every video that they put out. But I don't know why YouTube does it. Maybe it's their algorithm that they don't understand. So they're like, oh look, they're not watching it from the subscription. They're only watching videos from what's next or suggested. So they unsubscribe you from it because they figure you're not interested in it anymore. Thank you, Will, and the mods and chat. Well, thank you, Kitty Q. I'm glad that you were able to be here with us tonight. And everyone, thank you again. I'm going to take off here. I hope that each and every one of you has an awesome week ahead. But don't forget, Monday at before 10 a.m., I post a trivia question on my community tab that gives you an idea of what next week's trivia is all about. Give you a little bit of a hint. The person that next week's trivia is about is someone we've already done trivia about before. So there's your hint. I'm not going to say anything more. You have to check out the trivia question on Monday to find out who it is. But everyone, thank you again. And you all have a terrific week. Again, bye.